Hello friends, welcome to the Mathematics Student Support Program for Grade 8. Our lesson today is on Pythagoras Theorem. We had already studied in the previous lesson what is meant by Pythagoras Theorem and how to apply it. So let us have a quick recap. Remember, the side opposite the right angle is called the hypotenuse. And the Pythagoras theorem states that the longest side to the square is equal to the sum of the square of the two other sides. That is, c square equal to a square plus b square. In today's lesson, we are going to have a look at the applications of Pythagoras theorem. So, Pythagoras theorem can be applied in real life. For example, here you can see two buildings, and if I want to find the distance between these two, I can make use of Pythagoras theorem because I have what we call the right angle triangle. Very often we have a ladder which is inclined, and if I want to find the distance between the foot of the ladder and a wall, I can make use of Pythagoras theorem. Sometimes in construction works, we can also use Pythagoras theorem to obtain proper right angles. So we consider the first example. The rectangle ABCD has length 40 meters and width 30 meters. Find the length of the diagonal AC. So I need to find the length of AC. Remember, in a rectangle, the four corners are right angles. So I'm going to consider only part of the rectangle. I'm going to consider only this part. A, B, C. I'm going to take this half. So using the Pythagoras theorem, I'm going to have AC, that is the longest side, the hypotenuse, to the square equal to 30 to the square plus 40 to the square, which gives me 900 plus 1600. So AC to the square is equal to 2500 meters. Now to find AC, I take the square root, and this gives me 50 meters. So the length of AC is 50 meters. A second example, a ladder leans against the wall of a building of height 12 meters. If the distance from the building to the base of the ladder is 5 meters, find the length of the ladder. So in such type of questions, it is good to draw a diagram. The diagram will help you to better understand the context, the situation, and how to find the unknown. So here is a diagram. The height of the building is given as 12 meters, and the distance between the foot of the ladder and the foot of the building is 5 meters. So we let the length of the ladder be x meters. Observe that we have a right angle triangle here. So this is 5, 12, x, and my right angle is here. So we make use of the Pythagoras theorem. X to the square is equal to 12 to the square plus 5 to the square, which gives me 144 plus 25. So x square equal to 169. And x will be the square root of 169, that is 13 meters. So the length of the ladder will be 13 meters. We now move on to the third example. The mast of a yacht is tied to a 10-meter cable attached to its top. The cable is 6 meters from the base of the mast on the deck of the yacht. Find the height of the mast. So here's the diagram. you have a length of 10 meters for the hypotenuse. The unknown side is x meters and 6 meters is one of the shortest sides. So we make use of the Pythagoras theorem again. We have 10 to the square equal to 6 to the square plus x to the square. So 100 equal to 36 plus x square. If you recall, when you need to find one of the shortest sides, we need to subtract. So x square is 100 minus 36, which is 64. And x will be square root of 64, which is 8 meters. A fourth example, a 25 centimeter drinking straw fits exactly into a can as shown in the figure. The diameter of the can is 7 centimeters. So this is 7 centimeters, the diameter. The straw is 25 centimeters long, and I need to find the height of the can. So you can see here we have a right angle triangle with 90 degrees here. Let h be the height of the can. So you have your right angle triangle. I need to find h. Using Pythagoras theorem, I will have 25 to the square equal to 7 to the square plus h to the square. 625 equal to 49 plus h square. So h square equal to 625 minus 49, which is 576. So h will be square root of 576, which is 24 centimeters. So the height of the can will be 24 centimeters. Here are some links for you to practice on Pythagoras theorem and the real-life applications of this theorem. So a quick recap. Pythagoras theorem is applied only to right-angled triangles. Remember, opposite this 90 degrees, we have the longest side, which is the hypotenuse. And the theorem states that the longest side to the square will be equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. That is, c square equal to a square plus b square. One last tip will be, if ever you need to find the hypotenuse, you will have to add. But if you need to find one of the other sides, you will have to subtract. Of course, in both cases, you will need to take the square root at the end to obtain the unknown length. Here are some exercises for you to practice. So the first question is quite simple. A rectangle has dimensions 24 centimeters and 7 centimeters, and you need to find the length of the diagonal. Question 2. Here you have been given the width 3 meters and the length of the diagonal is 5 meters. You will have to find the length of the rectangle as well as its area. The area of rectangle is something which you had already covered in grade 7. Number 3. Find the length of a diagonal of a square of side 8 centimeters. Remember, a square has 4 equal sides. That's why you have been given only one side. Question 4. A cycling track is in the form of a right-angled triangle, and the length of its two shortest sides are 18 kilometers and 8 kilometers. Find its perimeter. For this question, it would be helpful for you if you draw a diagram. Number 5. One diagonal of a rhombus is 8 centimeters. Find the length of the other diagonal if each side of the rhombus measures 10 centimeters. Again, draw a diagram to help you to find the length of the other diagonal. Next question. How far from the wall must you place a ladder of length 24 meters if the ladder is to touch a point 25 meters above the ground. We have done a similar question previously. Draw the diagram to help you to find the unknown side. So friends, we have reached the end of this program. I would advise you to try and practice these questions at home with the help of your friends or even with the help of your teacher. You also have some additional links for you to get some additional practice. So until next time, it's goodbye from me.